One summer moment can change a child's life. Through Toys for Tots Give and Go initiative, your support provides books, games, toys, and outdoor adventures that spark curiosity, creativity, and a love of nature. Whether it's fishing, learning a new sport, reading under a tree, or playing with friends, these moments build confidence and lifelong memories. For too many children, those moments never come. You can help change that this summer. Visit toysfortots.org. Toys for Tots, delivering hope beyond the holidays.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Well, you can't win them all. Dominic Carter here with you. The number to reach me live this hour, 800-848-9222. San Antonio steals Game 3 from the New York Knicks. It's now 2-1 in favor of the Knicks. And for the first time, and I believe in 46 days, the Knicks have lost. Things got a little rocky tonight at one of the watch parties here in New York at Bryant Park, not far from the Garden. The police had to use pepper spray. Again, this is a watch party that was in the park as things got turned into a mass brawl there. So hopefully not too many injuries. 800-848-9222. We have two big developing stories at this hour. Spencer Pratt's long shot bid for mayor of Los Angeles is in all likelihood over. He is no longer in the runoff. In Texas, at the trial of that African-American teenager, Karmelo Anthony, a defense witness for Karmelo Anthony takes the stand and blames him for the incident. In other words, his own witness did not rule in his favor, did not testify in his favor. So at this point, it's reckless for the parents to continue with this trial. You better beg prosecutors for a last-minute deal and throw yourself at the mercy of the court. Why? Closing arguments are set for tomorrow. Once this case goes to the jury and a verdict comes back, he will be convicted of murder one. He will spend the rest of his life in prison. If you cut a deal now with prosecutors, the young man can spend, 5 to 10 years in prison and then start his life over. This thing goes to the jury. You will be convicted very fast, and it's life in prison. And so in that race for mayor of Los Angeles, it gets very interesting now because you have the progressive to the left of the current mayor, Karen Bass, who's in the runoff. Her name is Nidhya Raman, and she's a progressive council member, 30 years younger than Mayor Karen Bass. And so this sets up a matchup between two Democrats and former allies to run the struggling city of nearly 4 million people of Los Angeles. So in other words, this race is going to come down to who can out-left the other. That's where this race stands. I want to start with the Knick game and, of course, President Trump in attendance. And the top Democrat in the House, Hakeem Jeffries, throwing shade on President Trump. Listen to this.
It also is not clear to me that Donald Trump is a big Knicks fan. I mean, does this guy even know the difference between Karl Rove and Karl Anthony Towns? I don't think so. He's just injecting himself into the NBA Finals because he always has to bring the MAGA circus into town. And that's unfortunate. Thank you, everyone.
Sounds like Trump derangement syndrome to me. Why? The commissioner of the NBA, also at the game, Adam Silver, praising President Trump for attending. Take a listen.
You know, I've been with the league for a long time. I ran NBA Entertainment years ago. He did an I Love Kids game spot with us. He was a fixture at NBA at Madison Square Garden. You guys remember, well, all of you, when you played here, not Draymond, but back in the old days, he had courtside seats. He was here all the time. He was at draft. So he's a genuine Knicks fan. And so, yes, there's some inconvenience to the fans here, but one looking around this arena, it's packed. So people listen. They came early. They got through whatever extra security, which is necessary. So, as I said, I think we should be using sports to create more of a sense of community with people, not less.
The commissioner of the NBA siding correctly so with President Trump. All that other stuff was nonsense, noise, and Trump derangement syndrome. A story I told you about last night, one of the travel hubs here in New York, Penn Station. Yet another mentally deranged individual pulled out a knife, stabbed 5 people, and one of the local TV stations, he didn't know these people. This happens a lot in New York City, and it's tolerated. One of the victims, who now has, I guess you call it a necklace, a scar literally going across his face from where he was cut, required stitches. One of the witnesses talked to WABC TV Channel 7 here in New York. Take a listen to this, folks.
I'm coming back from the Jersey Shore. I'm heading outside of Penn Station. I'm walking out to the street, going toward the escalator. And before I got to the escalator, I'm going through the doors and I see these 2 people tussling with each other. I didn't think anything. I'm walking by and the crazy guy, locked eyes with me. And then he just came at me with a roundhouse and got me. I thought it was a punch. He got me right in the face. And I was going to go after him. And then I hear this guy in the escalator. He goes, he's got a knife. He's got a knife.
That was just one of the harrowing. You see how just terrifying it was for it to play out. These are Obadiah's injuries. You could see he has a slash on his lip where he had to receive 3 stitches and also a slash to the side of his face. Again, there are 2 60-year-old victims, a 52-year-old victim, a 42-year-old victim, and a 40-year-old victim, all males, slashed at Penn Station yesterday. There was 1 serious injury. They were brought here to Bellevue. Unclear if all of them have been released at this point.
And so let's switch now to the race for mayor in Los Angeles. This is ridiculous. And it leads to critics to say something is rotten in Denmark. It takes this many days to count the vote. Come on, folks. Let's get real. But at the end of the day, it looks like the person that many of us wanted to see in this contest, Spencer Pratt, as of right now, and it's not looking good as more Democratic votes are going to come in, he is out. Listen to this update. This is the way the CNN covered the situation.
Well, the numbers showed, as you just said, that Nithya Raman has really been dominating the late incoming vote. These are mostly votes that were dropped off in ballot drop boxes in the last few days of the campaign. Traditionally in Los Angeles, those have broken very Democratic and very progressive. We saw that today, and that is why that breaking news is that Nithya Raman is moving on and will face off against Karen Bass. Spencer Pratt is out. Let's look at the new numbers that we just got. And in this new dump, we see that Raman really excelled today. She gained 18,000 votes on Pratt just today alone. She's now ahead of him by about 22,000 votes. On election day, she was behind by 40,000 votes. Yesterday, she took the lead. Today, we see her gaining some ground. It's enough ground that the folks at CNN feel comfortable that she is going to take that spot. It was a similar projection in the last few minutes from the Associated Press and the LA Times joining CNN in projecting that Nithya Raman is moving on. This is a dramatic moment, especially for Spencer Pratt, who got so much attention around the country for his race, especially in the right-wing media ecosystem, and just galvanized that attention. But the question always was, Could you convert all of that attention, especially on the right, into actual votes in Los Angeles, one of the bluest cities in the country, where just 13% of people are Republicans? And based off of the vote totals, it appears that he could not.
So it looks like Spencer Pratt is done. I'm going to get to the Karmelo Anthony case in Texas. This young man's parents they're reckless. Take a deal. Beg the prosecutors for forgiveness. They're going to give you 5 to 10 years prison. Your son will live to fight another day. This thing, closing arguments are set for in the morning. Then it goes to the jury. The jury's going to come back with a quick decision, and then your son is convicted of first-degree murder and will spend the rest of his young life in prison. It is reckless. Let's start with your telephone calls, 800-848-9222. Let's begin with Greg in Michigan. Greg, good morning. What's on your mind?
Good morning, Dominic, Mr. Positive. Hey, I got to ask you, the way Trump treated Kristen Welker.
Okay, hey, Greg, wait, hold on.
Okay.
Why do you call and always want to ask me a question instead of just telling me what your opinion is, rather than trying to guide me to your opinion via the way you ask your question?
Spot on. I will tell you my opinion. Trump was all wet, and how dare the Knicks lose, but Trump should not have treated Welker that. All she did was put back in his face about his promises and how he made empty promises, and he's not following
Hey, Greg,
through.
let me ask you another question.
Yes.
What is the point of calling when all of your points are to the far left? Why do you call the show as often as you do?
Now, why do you say it's far left? Maybe it's
because
true.
you said she didn't do anything. She has a right to ask a question, but President Trump firmly believes, and perhaps there's a strong argument there, Greg, that some people were greatly mistreated January 6th, and perhaps they should be reimbursed. So what
people
did Trump
climbing the wall? And
you're taking it to Greg, you're taking it to the extreme. I'm saying is I don't understand. What is the point?
You're articulating a narrative to fit your
No, I'm not.
Yes,
I'm not. You're the one that, Greg. Every time, Greg, I noticed Walter in the last show calling my colleague, and thank God, hopefully he's not my problem anymore. But you and Walter in Baltimore, You're not calling with an objective opinion. You're calling with a bias, and you do so. You do know that every single time. Wait a minute, I'll let you speak when I'm done.
Okay.
You do realize that every single time you call, I see your call coming in, whether you get on the air or not. You do know that, right?
Yeah, it's all right.
You do know that I know every time you call right before I hit the air. So, like last night, you called about 9 times. You just didn't get on the air.
Yeah,
I don't understand what is this great obsession that you and Walter have in calling me when all you want to do is argue from the far left. You're not interested in being reasonable. You just want to argue from the far left. What's the point of that?
Okay, let me articulate. You want to argue
and I've got
from the
15 seconds to the break. So go ahead.
Okay. So you want to articulate from your position. I want to articulate from
I'm the host of the show.
Okay, this is true. But how do you get to an agreement? You have to have commonality. You have to
right. So shouldn't you call programs that are more in line with politics?
No. How do you get to the truth? When you take
so you think, Greg, you get to the truth by calling up, trying to set me up with these ridiculous questions that I could answer in my sleep. You do know I go toe to toe with the smartest politicians in the country. You do know that, right?
But maybe are they?
And do you think, by the way you formulate questions, do you really think? Okay. If you're going to talk over me, I'm just going to cut you off.
Okay, sorry.
Do you really think, in your heart of hearts, with your silly way of asking these ridiculous questions, that you're going to bring me over to your point of view? Do you really think that? You don't think before you even open your mouth, I know where you're coming from?
Likewise. You're
okay, so then don't call. So then why call? Greg, it bothers me. Last night you called the program about 9 times. The audience doesn't know this. I do, and I share it because I don't want to. I don't share it because I don't want to embarrass you. What is the point of calling? Wait a minute. Wait, because I'm late for a break. What is the point of calling a program 9 times within 1 hour? What's the point?
To get on the air.
And what makes you think that it's so important what you have to say?
Well, everyone thinks they have something important to say. How could I think otherwise? Really?
Okay, but why? But why do you keep calling me?
What is the definition of a right?
Why do you keep calling me?
Right.
Why do you keep calling me? Okay, Greg,
I want to know where
you're going to talk over me again, right?
Oh.
Why do you keep calling me?
Well, why not?
Because frankly, I don't want to hear from you. That's why not. You're done. Thank you. Call another show. Time for a break. We're coming right back.
The biggest stage in world soccer is days away, and every goal changes everything. And now FanDuel's giving you a reason to root for every single one. Introducing Every Goal Pays. Bet on a match and get bonus bets for every goal scored in that match. Oh, that's right. More goals means more bonus bets, and all you have to do is turn on your token. Visit FanDuel.com and get started now. Let there be goals on FanDuel.
21 plus select states for Kansas in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino. 18 plus DCKYWY. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 1-800-MY-RESET. 888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org/chat. Connecticut. Visit mdgamblinghelp.org. Maryland. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org. Call 800-327-5050. Massachusetts. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY. Text HOPE-NY in New York. Call 877-770-7867. Louisiana.
Visit FanDuel.com. Get started now. Let there be goals this summer on FanDuel.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
I want you folks from coast to coast to help me with something here. Why do some people have to mess it up for everybody? What am I talking about? Several watch parties in New York City tonight for the NBA Finals. And in Bryant Park, where police were forced to use pepper spray, you see fans violently trying to rip down a street sign, a bus sign. Why would you do that? Knowing that, why be so destructive? Knowing that police have to take action. Why would you do that and mess it up for everyone and face a situation with full pandemonium with thousands of people at an event trying to have a good time? Why is it some are so reckless? They like to mess it up for everybody. 800-848-9222. Let's go to Bob, line 3, Pittsburgh. Bob, what's on your mind?
I'm calling about the Karmelo Anthony trial.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to think that if the DA wants to make a deal at this point, he's Karmelo or the defendant's going to do a lot more than 5 years.
What makes you say that? The whole point of a plea bargain is we're no longer gonna take the risk of the jury siding with you, and you're gonna do prison time. What makes you think it has to be a lot more than 5 years?
Well, because it was really premeditated murder. He should get it. If he's lucky, he can get a deal for maybe 25 to life.
No, that's not a plea bargain. No district attorney. First of all, a DA does not have to give a plea bargain. That's number one.
Right.
They normally offer it before trial. I'm sure they did in this case. 25 to life is ridiculous. If there's a plea bargain, it'll be maybe 10 years in prison. If the DA may say, no, we've gone too far, this is going to the jury. They have a slam dunk case for conviction and life imprisonment. Time for a break. We're coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And And we are back, 800-848-9222. I'm going to go to line one, Christine, Staten Island. Christine, good morning. What's on your mind?
Hi, good morning, Dom. You asked why some people want to ruin it for others. It's like one bad apple spoils it.
Yes.
And I
Hey,
think
Christine, wait, but before you answer, I really don't call me naive, Christine, and this is why I threw it out there, and maybe you can help me this morning. I don't understand, Christine. If you're out somewhere to have a good time, right? Everybody to have a good time. Why would you do something so reckless, so stupid, of trying to rip down a bus sign? Now the NYPD has to use mace. You have thousands of people out there. It can go from bad to worse very soon. Why would somebody in their right mind do that if they're not drinking? And even if they are drinking, it's still reckless. Why would they do that?
They're like pyromaniacs who like to incite and watch from a distance. I call them black hearts, and they like to steal joy from people.
You're
and
so
just
correct.
And just like you, Dominic, bring joy to so many listeners with your program and letting us have a sense of community and that we share a common voice. I did want to point out that your earlier caller is that type of person who just doesn't want to have a voice. And he took up some of your minutes and took that time away from other callers. So that's what he's getting off on.
You know, Christine, and you read exactly where I was going. I didn't mention Gregory in Michigan. See, Christine, let me just say this. So everything that you callers do, I have a screen in front of me that I can see everything. I can see how many times you may call in the course of an hour. I can see the last show when you called. So one nut job, Walter in Baltimore, he started calling my colleague. And I love Rita Cosby, but I wish her well in dealing with them because his true colors are going to come out real soon, right? He's in the nice stage. The other nut is Greg in Michigan. First, he used to come on and say, boom shakalaka. And then now he says, Mr. Positive. I don't know why he does this. And listen, Christine, you could say to me, you love Trump. You could say you hate Trump. As long as you're real with me and you don't try and hide it by trying to ask me a million questions like you're a prosecutor, like you're going to outsmart me and get me to do something that I don't want to do. This guy called. So last night he called up 9 times. And did not get on the air once. So I want all of the callers to know, if you call and you don't get on, I still see, I just don't make any reference to it. I still see where you're calling from, the telephone number where you're calling from, what your personality is. It's in the comment section. I get a picture of every caller that's calling in. And Christine, when one person calls 9 times in 1 hour and it's never positive, it's a problem. Go right ahead, Christine.
Oh, well, it just brought a dirty image to my mind. It's just like someone sitting there, pleasuring themselves.
and so you're telling me that, so like we have a forum here, and whether you love Trump, hate Trump, whatever, we're respectful of each other. We put it out there and we talk to each other. And you're saying that he's trying to disrupt that. I mean, because that's what it sounds like every time he calls to me.
Yes, definitely.
And that's why the person did what they did.
He resents that you have a platform. He resents that you have a platform, that you get clicks and likes, so to speak, that people listen to you, that you are influencing public opinion in his mind, even though all of us already have formed our own opinions. But he thinks that he can change our opinions. That's
sounding like a nut job. He thinks he's going to change somebody's opinion.
I guess so, in his warped mind. He just wants to disrupt and tear down because you have a platform and he doesn't.
Wow. Well, thank you. And you know, Christine, I'm going to be straight with you. Normally I ignore the nut jobs, but this guy is starting to get to me because it's just creepy.
Oh, no. But you always tell us not to engage people.
You're right. I do. Him. You're right. And I do. But Christine, in the course of last night's program, to call 9 times, and if I didn't take your phone call in 15 minutes, shouldn't you get the hint that I'm not interested in taking your call?
But he's
9
never going to get the
times?
hint. He's never going to get the hint. So you just have to just not even pay attention to it.
Fair enough, Christine. You schooled me here this morning. Thank you very much for your lovely call. And you're the one that's positive, helping me out this morning. Let's go to Tom in New Jersey, line 2. Good morning, Tom. What's on your mind?
All right. I was, she cut this last caller kind of stole my thunder. I was going to explain to you why people do what they do. There are several reasons. I can give you 5 right off the bat real quick. They have their own agenda. They don't know how to act. They're looking for negative attention. They did it on a dare, make people around them feel uncomfortable. There are just way too many reasons. You can never pinpoint it. You know,
Tom,
if they're uncomfortable, they want to, it's just, I mean, behind everything, there's politics and psychology behind almost everything. So that's why it's so hard to pinpoint it. I mean, there's just,
okay, but Tom, there are about 20 shows on, at least 10 in the course of a day. Why lock into my show?
Well, you see, the thing is that's the psychological thing. He's stuck on something, and he likes to go back and forth with you. He probably likes the debate and the fighting. And yeah, like I said, the psychology, you'll never know. It's just so deep. The human mind, I'm telling you, you never know. But there could be like the first one. They said an agenda. You don't know how to act. Looking for negative attention, make people feel uncomfortable around you. It's just so many.
But Tom, I don't know what your position is on the issues, whatever it may be. I respect your opinions, right? But if you're going to call up a show, I can tell you're a reasonable person. You're going to state your opinions, and you're going to tell me why, right? And then I can tell you why, that I agree or disagree. But that's it. I mean,
but you see, the thing is, I'm sorry to interrupt you. He's got screws loose. He's got screws loose, and it's just that simple. And that's something that you have to understand. You know? So.
Yeah, I hear you. I really do hear you, Tom. But it's like, before the show starts, in the middle of the show, in the commercial break, and just keep calling and calling. And the call screeners are telling you that I'm not interested, and you just keep calling and calling like it's going to change.
Because he likes the back and forth, and when you feed into it, it makes him want to do it more, and that's all part of it. I hate to say it, I'm telling you right now.
Right, and I try not to feed in. I try not to feed into it, but I firmly believe in taking everyone's telephone calls. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey Tom,
and
you schooled me and you helped me out. Go ahead. You got the final word. Go ahead.
You know what? The dog kind of drifted away.
Okay.
But it was in the same line. No.
Fair enough, Tom. Thank you for the great call. I want you to have a wonderful day. Let's go to Melvin in Indiana. I'm going back to Indiana. Good morning, Melvin. What's on your mind?
What's on my mind is I have the answer to your question.
Okay.
Why do these crazy people keep calling you time and time again? My father, he passed on, but he said the reason you have crazy people is because God likes crazy people. And I said to my father, Dad, why do you say such a thing? And his answer was that God likes them. So therefore he made a lot of crazy people.
What they got to do with me, Melvin?
Well, you want to know why the crazy people keep calling you?
Right, but you said God likes crazy people. What they got to do with me?
He made a lot of crazy people.
But what they got to do with me? What's the correlation?
Nothing with you. You're normal. It's
okay, but what's the? But that doesn't explain why they gravitate towards this show.
Oh, because they get their jollies by getting you angry.
But who says I'm getting angry? I may sound like I'm getting angry. Who says I'm getting angry?
You're not angry, but they're annoying you. That gives them their jolly.
Okay. All right.
Because when I asked my dad, why do you say that? His answer was he made a lot of them. Crazy people.
Okay, fair enough, Melvin. Thank you for the call. Let's see. Ernie and Lindenhurst is attempting to answer this same question. Let's hear Ernie out. What's on your mind, Ernie?
Hey, Dom, it's almost like when I listen to Rita and there's a caller that calls, and I would love to tell her to have him call at a certain time so I could just tune out for those 5 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Because the opinion is no matter what, it's opposite of what you and Rita and your opinions and your whatever you're talking about at that moment. He always has the opposite side. And like that fella, the two callers that just called, they just want the clash back. You know, that's like their agenda, you know. They want the negativity. And that's just how it is.
Ernie,
you know?
but I could think of a million and one things.
Like you.
I can think of a million and one things that I'd rather do with my time than calling somebody up on a radio station, attempting in a bad way to give them a hard time. I don't get it.
You know, I have somebody who's on Facebook who's like that. No matter what, it's just negative, and they throw all these numbers. Oh my God, look at gas prices. I was like, gas prices have been like that for 8 weeks. Gas prices were like that for 4 years, but they don't see that. You know what I mean?
Right.
They just have their agenda, you know? I mean, and then when we have our agenda, they think that we're gung-ho, you know what I mean? Like we're the, you know, if I mind saying, what the guy has on his chest. That's what they call us, you know what I mean? That we're bad, and, oh my God.
Right.
And, listen, I never cared who the president was, as long as you don't come knocking on my door and bother me. I pay my taxes. I'm happy as long as it doesn't affect my pocket. And I think the last president was the only time in my whole life it affected my well-being in my pocket. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you, and I thank you very much for the call. I want you to have a beautiful morning. Let's see here. Let's go to Paul, line 4 in Middletown. I don't know if that's Middletown, New York, Middletown, Connecticut. Paul, which Middletown is it?
Middletown, New York, Dominic.
Middletown, New York. Okay, I know the area well. Good morning. What's on your mind?
Here's the reason why people get upset with you, because you hit a nerve, and it's like you attract this human debris that comes towards you at night, and they call you up. And they
so you say, wait, you said I hit a nerve. Why do I hit a nerve?
Because you're right, and they don't like it.
Okay, so I'm right and they don't like it.
Pretty much, yes.
So then you call up and make a fool of yourself. I'm not saying you. I'm talking about these nuts.
Correct, because you've incensed them to act out because what you are saying is correct, and they don't like it.
So let me ask you another question, Paul. Is it because I'm black and I'm saying what's right? Because you have a lot of hosts on the radio to say a lot of same things I say. But it's just some reason, with me, it just drives them batty.
Well, when is the moon out? Pretty much at nighttime. When it's full moon, you get the crazies, and your time frame is at night. So, yeah, that's the attraction.
Hey, Paul, thank you for the call. Let's go to Angie, our girl. Angie, school teacher, Long Island. Good morning, Angie. What's on your mind?
Good morning. I had to get up and call you because I'm listening to all these reasons why people call you. And I teach kindergarten this year, so it's very simple. They just want attention, whether it's negative, whether it's positive. They just seek attention. And all this time we're talking about them, we're giving them exactly what they want. We're giving them exactly what they want.
So you're telling me from this moment forward, just completely ignore them.
Exactly. If you don't, then you're giving them, they want attention in any way, shape, or form, whether it's positive, whether it's negative, and we just gave them what they want. We wasted all of our airtime talking about them.
And Angie, we had a full show prepared with other things. You got major news out of Los Angeles tonight.
I know.
Spencer Pratt is out. You got this Karmelo Anthony case going to the jury tomorrow. Closing arguments are tomorrow. Hey, Angie, I'm late for a break, but help me out here. I know you're a teacher. Why would this boy's parents go to trial when he's looking at life in prison instead of cutting a deal, and the evidence is overwhelmingly against him?
I think it's sort of the same thing. I think they know that he's destined to go to jail. So let's make the most out of it, get the most money, the most attention, the most airtime on TV, and while we're in the spotlight, whether it's their 15 minutes of fame or not, it's terrible. It's just
because that 15 minutes is over, and you're going to spend the
over.
rest of your life visiting a state penitentiary. This kid he's a young kid. Angie, do you know what they're going to do to him in prison?
You know something? It's horrible. And the fact that this family went and bought this house speaks volumes. That speaks volumes as to the character.
It does.
People.
Angie, I normally wouldn't say this, but please go to sleep. Don't you got to get up and go to work in the morning?
I do, but I just wanted to call you.
Well, thank you. A lot of people want to talk about this topic. Every line is lit up. Angie, thank you so much for the call. It is time for a break. We are coming right back.
The Dominic Carter Show, entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
And I am looking at my Twitter at my ex, the lovely DMS. Young lady, I hope you're not out walking around Lower Manhattan by that water this time of night. She says that Greg in Michigan, she says, quote, part of her tweet, he reads you as being intelligent and successful and is obsessed with the challenge he invents that he will, quote, get you. Well, DMS, let me tell you, I could have a broken leg, pneumonia, on the verge of a heart attack, can't walk, can't stand, blood sugar of 600, and he could never get me. Quote unquote, with all due respect, if Hillary Clinton, Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, Nelson Mandela, I could go on and on and on. If none of them could, quote unquote, get me, one thing 7% did teach me that's accurate. Radio is theater of the mind. I'll just say this, folks. Because you hear me raise my voice, that doesn't mean necessarily that I'm upset. Because you may hear me yell, that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm upset. 7% was correct about two things that he did show me. He said radio is theater of the mind, and he said don't ever waste a nasty call. Play it for ratings. He did teach me that much. And let's go to a person I have a lot of respect for. She's a former teacher. Yetta, New York City. I think about Yetta all the time. I see the pictures you post when you were a teacher back in the day in communities that serve communities like mine, Yetta. And, you and I don't agree on every issue, just like I don't agree with any listener on every issue. But you state your opinion, you do it in an intelligent way, and then we discuss it. Yetta, what's on your mind? Line 4. Yetta, what's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic. I have an opinion about why these callers call in and they argue with you. Well, okay, here it goes. You're on the radio, and they hear you express a political opinion. When they hear you express that political opinion, they have a different political opinion. You're on the radio. Your political opinion drives them crazy.
Why?
It's a psychological thing because
Why
they
does
have
it
a
drive
different
them crazy?
political opinion. Because they have a different political opinion, and they can't. It's psychological, and they can't stand that you're on the radio and you are voicing an opinion that's different than theirs. So their knee-jerk reaction is to call in and argue with you because they must psychologically have their voice heard. So in order for them to calm down, because they're getting very, very angry that you're on the radio and you're expressing this opinion that's driving them crazy. That's all I can.
Okay, but help me out. You're a former teacher. Is it because I'm black and I'm conservative? Is that what drives them crazy?
No, absolutely not. Nothing to do with that at all. It's your opinion that they hear, and you're on the radio with a vast audience, and it drives them crazy that you have this great audience and you're voicing an opinion that they disagree with, so they have a knee-jerk reaction to call in. I said that. I'm repeating myself. And they must call in to relate.
I don't want to cut you off. We're off in 5 seconds. We got to continue this. All these calls, and I'm out of time. I'm back 3 p.m. Eastern. Have a great day, folks.
Thanks for listening to The Dominic Carter Show. You can hear The Dominic Carter Show weekdays at 3 p.m. and Monday through Thursday at midnight and Sunday starting at 11 p.m. on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?
Listen to this podcast now
on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
Why is the middle class shrinking? Why are people facing an affordability crisis while marginalized individuals called informals grow in numbers? Join me as I travel the world, speaking with people living in invisibility, the leaders working to solve it, and uncovering the hard truths shaping our economy and daily reality.
Download all of Red Apple Media's podcasts right now through your favorite podcast platform.